Well, listen, we're going to see how they reacted to you because this is going to be a little bit of a watch along, a 13-minute deal here. But like I did with our show last week, we'll talk through it. So we won't have to necessarily, we got questions. I got stuff to cover off with you as we watch it. But this is the full match. And so I'm really interested to, hear what you think about it. I'm going to read some of Meltzer's notes as well. But we're going to go ahead and kick it off. This is Kurt Angle, your Olympic hero. The champion of champions, my hero, the podcast, just God. All right. Versus, do I still have you, Kurt? Versus Eddie Guerrero at SummerSlam from 2004. Let's check it out.
Perhaps of who may be the wild card or the ace up Kurt Angle's proverbial sleeve in this matchup, the assistant, the rough and tough Luther Reigns.
And you hear the Eddie chants throughout the Air Canada Center here in Toronto.
Kurt Angle is...
This is going to be some match, Coleman. I'm fired up for this.
Won pretty much every title in the WWE. A former Grand Slam winner, a multiple-time WWE champion. And look at that. Kurt Angle. And for Eddie Guerrero, it's going to be tough to mat-based wrestle against Kurt Angle. He's got to be a high flyer in this matchup.
You don't want to wrestle Angle, I'm telling you. You got to be careful doing any kind of... You see the great grip of Kurt Angle. Eddie Guerrero just struggling to break that grip. Nice quick
great takedown by Eddie.
So it's a low fireman's carry by Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero's no stranger to the mat, but come on, let's face it now. Eddie Guerrero's not an Olympic gold medalist here.
But a standoff in the early going of this matchup between Kurt Angle and Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, you got to watch. This is not what you want to do, Eddie. I'm telling you, man. Be careful. He's so quick. I mean, he's so quick with his hands and his feet and his instincts. Let's go Angle. I think the king is right. This is Bizarro World.
It's Bizarro World here as this crowd behind Kurt Angle in this match.
There you go, Kurt. I wanted to at least play the volume long enough until they started that. Can you believe that?
You heard them. You heard who they were cheering for.
Let's go Angle.
Olympic hero, Kurt Angle.
And Taz like, this is Bizarro World up here. What is happening? So there's just an example, guys, of what we were talking about and what the show's like. And Eddie's got to be thinking, WTF? I'm supposed to be the face in all this. People supposed to love me.
Eddie was a hot baby face too, man.
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
We got referee Brian Hebner's in there, one of your all-time favorites, if not your all-time favorite. Work with you in TNA as well. He's the referee here. But let's talk about the match a little bit. The difference. What did you feel like the difference was between this match and your WrestleMania match for you?
For me, I didn't get to train much for this match. WrestleMania, I was more prepared. I think WrestleMania, we didn't have a faster-paced match, but we had a more well-planned match. This one was pretty close, though. I'm not going to lie to you. If you compare the two, this one's a really, really close second.
There's I'm going to read kind of what happens here at the end before we get there. Everybody who listens to the show knows how this wrapped up, but and I want to get some comments from you as we watch this. Meltzer says Kurt Angle defeats Eddie Guerrero in 1338. Great early wrestling sequences. We're watching them right here. Fans were cheering Angle and chanting for him. Oh, it's damn true. We just got to hear it right here on the show. But towards the end of his notes, he says Angle used an ankle lock on the leg without a boot. So we're going to watch this as it goes. He's going to lose his boot. Eddie is. They sold it like it was an unprotected leg. And after a while, with Angle pulling him to the center and turning it into a heel hook, Guerrero would submit. In reality, ankle locks were far less effective when opponents don't have boots on them because the boot limits the ankle's flexibility. But since 99.9% of the audience wouldn't know that, it doesn't matter. He gave it 3 3/4 stars. Is Meltzer right about the boot?
You know what? I don't know, to be honest with you. I think your foot is more vulnerable, your ankle, without a boot. But I understand about, holding on tighter with the boot because the boot allows you to grip it more. When you have a bare foot, it's a little more slippery.
Yeah.
But, you can break an ankle quickly without a boot. It all depends on what you're looking at. Are you looking as far as gripping? It's better with a boot, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I just confuse myself too.
If anybody can repeat what Kurt just says to me, I will give you a free bag of chicken snacks. All right. So here's some other things that I want to touch on. Meltzer reported this too. As you sit here and play footsie with each other in the ring here. There you go. He's trying to get an ankle lock on you. You're trying to get an ankle lock on him. And interesting. Apparently, Kurt Angle convinced Eddie Guerrero that losing would be better for Guerrero. Now, Kurt, I don't know what kind of salesman you are here back in these days, but you were selling it. I was shocked at that one because Guerrero is fading fast. Hasn't scored a major win since WrestleMania while losing heat, and a potential talked about program with Luther Reigns, who Angle has been pushing for. Guess you were a big proponent of Luther. We'll just
I
make
have a
him.
lot to say after this.
We'll just make him another guy. Judging from television, they are, at least for now, still keeping the program with Guerrero versus Angle short term. Kurt Angle, what say you? Did you convince Eddie Guerrero that losing would be best for him?
No, Meltzer's full of shit. Okay, I had nothing to do with it. It was all Vince McMahon's call. And you know what? Who needed the win more? Eddie beat me at WrestleMania, and then he got beat for the title against JBL. So we kind of both need the win. And I never in a million years would say, hey, make sure Luther Reigns and Eddie Guerrero go head to head in the next program. Luther Reigns wasn't even ready. Okay, this guy, as talented as he was, he didn't work very hard in the ring. He didn't spend that extra time before the show to get in the ring and train. That's why Luther Reigns didn't work out. He didn't pan out because of his lack of work ethic. But no, I would never say, hey, have Luther Reigns against Eddie. That would be stupid.
That, I think right there, you calling bullshit on that for the reason that you just said. The whole Luther Reigns thing, you never thought he was ready. So why the hell would you push him to be in a program with Eddie Guerrero?
If Luther was ready, I would have pushed it, but he wasn't ready.
Yeah, so to me, that calls bullshit on everything Dave just reported in my mind.
He was full of shit on those two things.
Okay, so you didn't say, hey, Eddie, let me win. It'll be better for you.
No, I never even spoke to Eddie about it. Vince McMahon made the call.
So what you're trying to say is,
I
Kurt,
didn't even speak to Vince about it.
So what you're trying to say is, Kurt, is that you weren't political like that.